Len McCluskey has been ratified as the General Secretary-elect of Unite by the Union's executive. In an opening statement at his first press conference that followed the executive meeting, he announced Unite's campaign to mobilise its 1.5 million members and their families in defence of their communities, a campaign entitled Don't Break Britain. He reiterated his determination to expose the lies behind the coalition government's justification for their savage assault on the quality of national life.
Let me first of all say how honoured I am and humbled by the confidence shown in me by Unite members. I've been given a mandate to lead this great union of ours. Whilst I know that a few of you will have questions about the turnout, let me just say that more people voted in this election than voted in the election for David Cameron to lead the Conservative Party. Indeed, Unite, in many ways, in many senses, is the big society which the Prime Minister often likes to talk about. It is 1.5 million working men and women, tens of thousands of activists who play a vital role, not just in their workplaces, but in their communities throughout the country, helping their fellow workers and contributing to the society in which we live in many ways. I have a huge agenda in front of me which I intend to tackle with the support of our Executive Council, all of my colleagues working in the union, both officers and staff, and above all, those activists that I've just mentioned. Let me just mention a couple of the major points on that agenda before I take questions. Firstly, working people are under massive attack at the moment. This government is expecting them to pay through job losses and spending cuts for the crisis created in the city. Resisting that assault must be the #1 priority for any trade union leader. What Thatcher tried to do to the unions, the Conservative Alliance government are trying to do to the welfare state, erase it from the nation's life. Britain's first Cameron Christmas is going to be a time of bleak uncertainty for millions of ordinary people, not just those who work in the public sector, but anyone in any way dependent on them. Only the bankers, with their bonuses back intact, will be celebrating this Christmas. That is why at the start of 2011, Unite will be launching its Don't Break Britain campaign, aimed at uniting everyone, fighting to maintain the elements of a fair society and a cohesive community in the face of these attacks. Unite will support any of its members that wish to take industrial action to save the 1.5 million jobs minimum that are currently threatened both in the public and private sector, or any action to protect members' pay and conditions and pensions. Indeed, I believe that such action will prove inevitable. But we also have to campaign alongside those who cannot go on strike, those dependent on benefits, people on NHS waiting lists, school children deprived of sports facilities, pensioners anxious about fuel bills. Don't Break Britain will be about our union, with its roots in our communities, placing itself at the heart of the growing movement of resistance to the cuts. Let me just say a word about Ireland. Unite is a major trade union in the Republic of Ireland, where we can see today the consequences of the savage cuts and the hoping that the private sector picks up the slack. Economic meltdown. I'd like to make it clear also straight away that my full support will be there for the Labour Party and for Ed Miliband's leadership of it. I believe Unite members want and expect Labour to unite behind Ed, not to listen to the Blairite undead trying to drag Labour back to a failed past. This is a new beginning, colleagues, and it's time for us to seize the opportunities that are before us.